Hey, what's up everyone? This is Dan the Movie Man with another big show for you today. Today we will be talking about the latest Academy Award winning film, Parasite.
주전대 착하다니까. 진짜 니가 착한 거지. I'm deadly serious.
지금 진짜로 이상한 게 뭔 것 같아.
Now, Parasite is written and directed by Bong Joon-ho and is about two families, the Kim family and the Park family, one who's poor and one is rich. And the poor family finds a way to integrate their lives into the rich family without having the rich family know that all of these people are related until things start unraveling together, that these people might think that they're in over their heads, thinking they shouldn't have done this to begin with. So here is my review on this. So when it comes to a film like this, it goes over my head. I didn't know about this film up until December. It really wasn't on my radar, and usually a lot of foreign films aren't, but I am a big fan of Bong Joon-ho. I loved The Host, I love Snowpiercer and Okja, and I was curious to see what he would be doing with this film, considering that it was getting a lot of award buzz, and I thought, oh, this guy is getting a lot more recognition than he previously did before. And I am happy to say that I think that this is his best work yet. I watched this twice to really get a true appreciation for it, and the more that I think about it, the more I really enjoy it and appreciate for what its message is. When I put my top 10 list before, I thought to myself, I should probably put that a little higher, because when I did that, it was pretty low just because it was the first time I saw it. But after watching it a second time, I was like, yeah, it's definitely worth the hype. It is just a well-crafted, beautiful film. It won Best Original Screenplay, won Best Director, won Best Foreign Film, and Best Picture. This marks the very first time that a foreign film has won the award for Best Picture for the Oscars. And do I think it deserved it? Come to think about it, it does. It does deserve. Is it my favorite movie of 2019? I don't know if I would go that far, because there are a few other movies that I did enjoy, but that's not to say I discredit this movie or anything. I actually did bring notes with me on this just because I was trying to remember everyone's name. And when it comes to a foreign film, there are a bunch of actors who I'm like, I don't know who that person is from a hole in the ground. The only person I know in the movie is Kang Ho-sung, who plays the father of the Kim family. Now, he's been in a few of Bong Ho-jung, oh my God, this director's work before. I've seen him in Snowpiercer. I believe he was in Okja, and I'm sure for a fact that he was in The Host. And it's one of those, when people are talking about Oscar snubs, I would say this is one of the biggest ones there, because he really owns every scene. He's funny, there's a lot to this character, and yeah, another thing what I do like about this movie is the depiction of each and every different character, where the rich people in this movie, the Parks, I was going in thinking, oh, I'm really going to hate these people because rich people in films are always depicted as monsters that just come off as imbeciles, and same with poor people in certain films. And it just goes to show that, you know, they're not, you know, the Kim family, they're not imbeciles, they're actually very smart, and they have to be, considering the situation that they are. The son, Ki-woo, who goes by Kevin in this movie, he is helping the daughter, Da-hee, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, as an English tutor. You have Ki-jung, who is his sister, be an art mentor towards the son, Da-sung. Kai-ti, the father, is the one who takes over as a driver, and the mother, Chung-suk, happens to take over as a housemaid for them. And as I said before, when it comes to the rich family, you know, they're not, you know, jerks or anything. They actually come off as decent people. They're just portrayed off that way because of the lifestyle that they live by. They come off as someone who have never really experienced that they haven't had to sacrifice anything. And that's another thing what I appreciate about this movie, is that there really isn't a protagonist or antagonist, because what the Kim family is doing is completely wrong and highly illegal. But in a way, you look at their actions and you understand why they do it. You understand where these people come from. You are somewhat rooting for them, even though you know what they're doing is completely despicable.
아 잠깐. 제시카 외동딸 일리노이 시카고 과선배는 김진모 그는 이사촌.
And the first half of the movie is actually portrayed as a dark comedy. It's a social satire, but not in the way where it's over the top, where it doesn't transition itself into a parody or a caricature of these different lifestyles of the poor class and the rich class. And it actually goes into, like, the first half is a dark comedy, social satire. And then towards the second half, it actually becomes a thriller. And throughout those moments, I was actually white-knuckling and just, you know, holding my fist up against my mouth, like wondering what is going to happen now. And that's kind of frightening, because there are frightening moments, but not to the point where it's like a monster or anything. But you look at these kind of situations and you're like, it would be hard to pull something like this off, but I can see it happening. And just putting yourself in that kind of situation just makes it a whole lot more frightening to that. You know, I could probably go on and on about how great this movie is, but I feel like I would just be talking about everything that everyone has ever spoken about. There was one flaw I had in the movie the first time I watched it, but during the second time, because it was one of those moments where I was like, wait, how does that make sense? I'm so confused. And then the second time I watched it, I really paid attention to what some of the characters were saying previously. And going back on that, I was like, I understand now. It's not a flaw anymore, because I completely understand. Is it a masterpiece? I would strongly say that, yeah, it is a masterpiece. And I'm happy that Bong Joon-ho has finally gotten the recognition that he deserves. What Bong Joon-ho is to Korean cinema audiences is how we view Steven Spielberg and Quentin Tarantino. He is that big in Korea, and I have a feeling he will be that big in the US. And whenever it comes to a foreign film that is this successful in the US, there's always that moment in my head where I think, well, I can't wait for Hollywood to try to redo this as an American version. Not 2 days later, I look up and find out that there is going to be an American adaptation, but not in the way you think. It's not going to be a movie. It is said to be an HBO miniseries that Bong Joon-ho will be heavily involved in, and that is said is going to star Mark Ruffalo in this miniseries. Now, whether or not if he would be playing Kang So-hun's character or Sung Kyen Lee's character, but either way, I feel like the concept of that story can work. I just don't know if it should. And that's another thing I really appreciate about this movie, is that it is completely original. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. I can't remember the last time I've seen something that has been a dark comedy with a thriller twist to it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a thriller twist. It has a thriller vibe to it. And for a film to do that, you know, has really gained my attention. So the final verdict for Parasite easily gets an A+. If you are still wondering if you should see it, or if, you know, I really wouldn't worry about the subtitles, just because, you know, as I was watching this, yeah, there are subtitles, but after a while, you kind of forget that they're there, and you're sucked into the story and really engaged on the actions of these characters. And even then, you know, it's just like what Bong Joon-ho said. Once you overcome the 1-inch tall barrier of subtitles, you will be introduced to so many more amazing films. Well, that's it for today. I hope you check out Parasite, and it is on demand, it is on Blu-ray. Please watch this movie. It is easily one of the best that is out right now. Until then, this is Dan the Movie Man, signing off.